Look, I'm not going to say that we've got the silver bullet. We're all trained, and we've got great police officers and deputies throughout this county. But all of them will tell you we're only as good as the information that we get. I can remember having a quadruple homicide out in Center Point early in my term, and I'm thinking, oh, for the love of everything, what are we going to do? What about these victims? How are we going to solve this? And information through Crime Stoppers was very, very helpful, and made our detectives very efficient, and we were able to solve that crime.
Our law enforcement community has long recognized that Crime Stoppers is a valuable crime-fighting tool, that it will get a piece of information to them that no one would come forward with. That piece of information acts as a compass. It points them in the direction of where they need to go to develop evidence to be able to make an arrest and solve a case.
It's really interesting for me, sitting from the chief's office, when I look back at the inception of Crime Stoppers in its infancy stage and what we see today. Those that had the vision in the beginning that this would be good for Birmingham and the metropolitan area, I'm not sure they quite understood the way that Crime Stoppers would grow and really impact how we're policing, impact our communities in such an amazing way.
Crime Stoppers has expanded, and we serve a 7-county area now. We serve Walker, Blount, St. Clair, Shelby, Chilton, Bibb, and Jefferson. We have connected with the sheriffs in all of those different counties and asked them to use us to help solicit tips to help solve their crimes, and it's working.
It's always important to have that information coming in. No prosecution, no investigation can happen without information from the public. You know what's happening in your neighborhood. If you are willing to step up and talk to law enforcement, you can do so through Crime Stoppers.
We consider Crime Stoppers a vital portion of what we do for a living. We have so many crimes that when the officer gets to the scene and takes the report and gives it to the detective, sometimes we have absolutely zero to go on. And we're trying to find tips, we're trying to find anything to lead us somewhere. And that's why Crime Stoppers is such a great conduit.
The adage is, am I my brother's keeper? Well, certainly we are, because as I am my brother's keeper, my brother also watches over me. When I first joined the Crime Stoppers Board, I thought I would join in with a whole bunch of different police chiefs and other law enforcement professionals. But then I got there and I saw the leaders of banks. I saw the leaders of other companies and businesses. It really brought to the forefront that crime doesn't have boundaries, and that crime isn't just for the criminal professional who does it. Everybody has a vested interest.
It's critical that everyone get involved to try to cut down the crime, in our area. People's lives are worth a lot, and being able to get these felons off the street does a lot to protect your family, my family, and everyone's well-being.
When he left that night, of course I went to the door with him, as I always did, and said, have a good time, but get back in early. And as he got in his car, I said, see you later, alligator. And he said, after a while, crocodile, and got in his car and left. But that's what we did.
On Saturday morning, January 12, 2008, Birmingham police responded on a car burning at that time, and once the fire was extinguished, they recognized that there was a body in the car, and that body was later identified as a black male, 31-year-old. And at that point, we began our investigation after learning from the coroner's office also that this black male had suffered a gunshot wound.
He was a dear child, and very loving and very kind. Would do anything to help you that he could. And his friends dearly loved him. I cannot imagine anybody wanting to kill him, because everybody loved Fred.
I would want any mother to feel what I feel. I feel like I've been given a life sentence. I can't touch my son. I can't talk to my son. And I want the monsters caught who took him from me.
Crime really tears at the fabric of a city. It affects families, And one thing that we recognize that successful cities are made of successful neighborhoods are made of successful families. So families are the building block. And so when there's crime, it tears apart that family, and Crime Stoppers is the tool, it's the bridge that they're using to make a safer Birmingham.
We are a 501c3 organization. All the contributions we receive are tax deductible, and we need money to be able to constantly continue to pay the rewards. And of course we want to do more and more payments because we want to have more and more arrests.
And one thing I can always say about Crime Stoppers, they manage every single dollar. Regardless to what it is, they utilize all of those monies as good stewards to make sure that we provide a safe and secure community.
When we ask for the public to support us, we want them to know that this money is going back to pay the rewards. And we want to squeeze every dime to entice the public to be willing to give us more and more information.
Last year, we spent $48,800 in rewards. We made 102 arrests that cleared 223 felony cases for $48,800. Now think about how effective that is. You couldn't hire one seasoned investigator for $48,800.
It is a proven program that works across the country. So it's a way of reaching out to the community and saying to them, help us help you. Help us make your neighborhood safer.
We recognize that Birmingham can't stand alone, but we need the cooperation and the coordination with all of our law enforcement agencies in this metropolitan area. And that's what makes Crime Stoppers such a strategic part of what we're trying to accomplish. It's a partner that we have to have, and it's been extremely successful for us.
Crime Stoppers is just not only a good process, but a quality organization. And they, you know what, in all the 40 years, they have never strayed from their mission, never.
Please give.
Help us make our neighborhoods,
our businesses,
and our schools safer.
Together,
we can put a stop
to crime
in our cities.